When Gnosis meets the mind. Field reading, week 18th. Gnosis is an aspect of embodiment. So what I'm talking about in this week 18 is about embodiment. I have spoken a lot about integration, and integration is the same as embodiment. It is kind of, do you live through information or do you live through embodiment? Embodiment like Gnosis, that you have felt it in your body. So it is a big difference, and a lot of people that are very much in their intellect, just about information, wants to kind of arrest and take, oh, you said that, and put it into doctrine and scripts. And when you embody all life, then you just know, you don't have to defend. So the old paradigm has been a lot of information, and we go from information to integration, embodiment. We don't need to defend. And one of the most significant experiment or situation that really reflected that back to me in week 18 was my friend Helge Hognestad. He launched a book about Christianity of tomorrow. And in this book, he kind of wants Christianity to understand that what we are seeking, all of us have it inside. He lives from what I call divine design, homo luminous. So he said the same as me, but since he has worked as a priest several times, he used the paradigm of word that religion use. And he talks a lot about evolution. And it is kind of an evolution from information to integration, embodiment. And how does this occur in our life? How do we see it? Because it's so many examples that have met me this week. It's particularly 3 aspects that actually went into the same pattern, and it is about racism. Racism is an aspect of fragmentation. We are afraid about another human that maybe are dark-skinned or yellow-skinned or whatever we call it. And I have spoken with people that live in Norway that are dark-skinned and really experience it in their everyday life with their friends and also with married person in their life, and also Norwegian that have traveled and have experienced racism. And we think that, most of us think that there are no racism. Racism is kind of, we don't deal with that anymore. That is not true. It comes out in small what we say and our attitude. And what does that have to be with embodiment? Embodiment, we don't embody our true essence if we live from racism. That's why I talk about it. So this is one aspect of thousands. It comes up in what we judge. And if we judge something, like Helge Hognestad, when he launched his book, the one who interviewed him, he came from the old paradigm and wanted to kind of arrest Helge. But Helge, he embodied the divinity. He lives from divinity. And then he said, why did you write this in your book? It's not correct. He came from the program mind. It was not correct to write it the way he did. And he said, because I felt like I resonated. So when you live in your knowledge, you resonate. You just know. You don't have to defend. So I wasn't in this book launch, but I was in a meeting, and all the other people in that room had been in the book launch, and there were hundreds of people, and they were angry because particularly one wanted to arrest Helge, and they say, wow, and he really embodied his divinity. He was it. You couldn't, and the interviewer wanted to kind of arrest it, but that's not correct. So he came from the old Christianity and wanted to arrest him and said, well, you write this, you did that, and Helge was so safe in his health because he embodied it. He don't need to defend. He just could maneuver, and he was relaxed and trusted and safe. So the old paradigm is information, 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 and you try to put everything in structure. So it is the mental that wants to understand everything and say that it is one absolute truth. Well, it's not the way it is. So in my life and how it has shown me, why do I describe week 18 with Gnosis versus intelligent as a knowledge? Because it showed me the depth of it when Helge talked about Gnosis and he talked about the New Testament. Because when Jesus came, Jesus is his, he loved Jesus, he loved Paul, and he loved all Christianity. And also, I think the Jesus story is amazing. So I have learned so much through Helge. And he said that when Jesus came, then the New Testament that referred to Christ, it talks a lot about Gnosis. It talks about Gnosis, like lived experience. That was one of the truth, one of the way that Jesus wanted to tell us, that live through Gnosis, because that's lived experience. And Christianity, all Christianity, particularly in Norway, I cannot say if they do it in all other countries when they translate it, but in Norway they have all the Gnosis that Jesus talked about and all kind of the real essence. They have changed the word Gnosis to knowledge. And it is a big difference. Gnosis and knowledge, because knowledge is the intellect. It is information, information, information. We can learn a lot of information, but Gnosis is embodiment. So even the Christianity of Norway, the old, that is trying to hold on the old dogma, they don't want us to use Gnosis because they cannot control it. So that's the most significant. You can control information. You cannot control embodiment. So all the people that live from their soul, from their inner knowing, you cannot control them because they know what is right. People can say whatever they want to me, and that's okay. A lot of if I resonate, I know that that's for me. If I don't resonate, it's not for me. And I don't judge it because it can be right for the other people. But I have a specific path. You have a specific path. And this time is about walking our own path and live from Gnosis, live from embodiment. And all the books I have written is about how can we live out direct knowledge. And I have experienced a lot of trauma. I have walked the wounded healer's way. And when you are the wounded healer, you feel a lot. So I have felt, and I felt. And when you feel and when you experience, then you know. So this week have really showed me about the difference between these two. And also, as I have spoken about earlier, I am now in more of integration. And now I want to also mention another example. I spoke with my husband about Gnosis and knowledge, and I asked him, when you were a teenager, you had migraines. And he had a lot of migraines when he was a teenager, the same as our youngest daughter. And he said, I had migraines when there was a change in temperature, where there was a change from high pressure in Mother Earth to low pressure. So when the weather changed, when it came a lot of rain, and we call in Norway, we call it høytrykk. I don't know, it's a kind of the pressure in the air. So he actually got migraines when it was pressure in his surroundings. So he showed by this that he was attuned to Mother Nature. So this is also an aspect of embodiment, because this avatar, this body is an avatar, and this avatar is of Mother Earth. So we also have to adjust to Mother Earth, and through this alignment, then we also channel our divinity. So we embody it. And if our body isn't in balance, if we have emotional build-up, if we have wounds and all, then it comes out as fragmented, and because we don't embody, we don't live from coherence. Coherence is that all our aspects are in alignment. So now when I talk about embodiment, it is kind of integration. We have integrated all aspects. So it is direct knowledge, no direct wisdom, not direct information, but direct wisdom. So what is right for me, I just know. So this week I have had a lot of channeling. I write a lot, not in the books. I have started on several new projects, and it is because when you live from integration, everything can come. So you also choose with your mind, what do I want to make into form? So we are in now this year 2026, 27, 28, 29, all this year. It is the path from information to Gnosis. So, and information, when you live from information, you live from reaction. It's kind of, you react because it is information. So if you are triggered, and you can be triggered in a good way and a kind of because of wounding. If I am triggered by a good way, it is because it is something for me there. Then when I speak about resonance, I can be triggered. It's like you kind of inspirational. So it can be inspirational trigger, and it can be fear trigger. So you know that you are on the right path every time you get inspiration, the positive trigger. That's the truth path. So it is also living Gnosis is the truth path. So, and if you are reacting fear, then you know this is lie. So the body is telling you all the time. That's why I'm talking about embodiment and Mother Nature, because the body know what is true and what is false. And all the time you have a negative reaction, it is false. It's not true. But when you have a trigger kind of inspiration and love and all this amazing, then you know that this is your path. So Gnosis, I encourage you to Google Gnosis and understand, okay, how can I embody more and more and more. And all the courses that I make, Hero's Journey, Spiral of Grace, DNA, detox and recalibration and monad integration, all of this are courses that help us to integrate. And also the ceremony. So when you do it in a ceremony, you kind of, yes, I embody it. The ceremony is the thing that I have seen that it goes faster, because it is kind of you saying yes to yourself. You're saying yes to your higher self, that I want to live as a divine being or as a truthful being. I want to follow the truthful way. So we are all heading there. So it is, the life is always showing us, and if we feel sick, it is when we embody more and more, we also need to give our body kind of a break to relax. I have actually relaxed more in week 18 than I have normally. It kind of relaxed, and I said to some of my friends, I will do this and this and this, and some of the things I planned to do, I didn't do, because I live in the here and now and follow the divine flow, because I am in balance. So this is what I can help people to come in balance, like with all what I offer, because I have said yes to walk the path, just as Helge Hognestad have. So, and we are many people that do it, and all the people that had the ceremony 20th of April, all of us are in this same path, living from the truth. So it is integrating more and more, and this is also the aspect with one of the week I call boiling. What is boiling? So all of it is connected. So it is kind of the journey we are on, and life is what we meet is not a coincidence, not at all. Everything is kind of lovely, amazing. And it is also about perspective. What perspective? When you live from your divine design, the God within, you are God within. So it is amazing. And when I talk about God, I do not talk about the religious God that's sit in the sky, kind of judge, because this God I'm talking about, it is the 0 point. It is the creation of all. So doesn't judge anything. Judge is human mind is judging. God embody it all, but it wants to experience, and it wants to experience truth, not distort energy and fragmented energy. All of this we have said yes to experience, because God knows itself. It knows it all, but God wants to experience itself. So I'm an aspect of God, you are an aspect of God, all creation is an aspect of God. So it is not a religious God. It is a God, as I see it, it is light. Light holds the all. Light also holds black. So light, it is the omnipresence, the omni everything, omni-universe. So it is the all. It has a lot of words, but it is kind of the totality of creation. And creation is in time and space. So this is in time and space, and God is beyond time and space. So this is just a fragment to experience, and we need time and space to have this experience that we have. Yes, that was Gnosis and week 18. And with those words, I wish you the best week 19. And I want to end this video with, if you listen to this video in week 25 or 50, remember, it is not a coincidence. If I call this week, you will see it, you will find this video when it resonates with you. So the Homo luminous, the new human, is living from resonance. We just know that is an aspect of Gnosis, resonance. We are going against a knowing society, resonance society. Namaste. That means from my soul to your